Hey guys, y'all ready to plant? The little seeds are ready. Let me show y'all how wheatgrass seeds look right now. You can see the little tails are, let's see. Can y'all see that good? I'll leave it a second so y'all can look at it. But all the little tails are out. Okay, so we're gonna fill up our tray with soil. I like getting mine through, I get my soil through True Leaf Market. I really like it. It's just a good clean soil. There's nothing like really added to it, like any types of manures or fish meals or anything like that. Because some of these companies, I know I called one company, was organic soil, and they didn't have the added stuff to it like the manures, but they were composting from stuff like from all types of food scraps, pastries, dairy, just different animal products and stuff. And I'm like, I don't eat that stuff, so I really don't want to grow something that was composted from that. But it's up to you, whatever you want to use. Just finding the best soil that you can find. You can try at your even your local nursery or your Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that. Just if you can, though, try and get just the best organic soil that you can get, All right, so we're going to fill up the tray. We're going to do about 8 scoops. Okay, and they're kind of heaping. You can see, they're pretty full. I like to really fill up the tray because if not, you're going to have to water it even more. Especially we're here where I'm at. It's pretty warm right now, but so I kind of fill the tray up pretty good. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of spread it out. Then I'm going to take this here azomite mineral powder that I like to use, and I'm just going to kind of sprinkle it on there real good. I need to move this over a little bit, huh? Okay. I'm going to knock the phone down. Okay, I don't measure it out, I just kind of sprinkle it on there, but it is covered pretty well. Alright, then I'm going to kind of just move it around a little bit. I'm not really digging my hands into it, but I'm just kind of spreading it around so it does kind of get in there a little bit, mixed in there good. Okay, so I'm going to kind of just make sure it's all even, and then I'm going to water it. I want it to be really damp. Like I said, it's pretty warm here right now. I'm just going to use my little water hose right here from my sink. I have well water here in my home. That's what I use, and I have a little water filter thing underneath my sink that I use. It's not a real fancy one or anything like that, but that's what I use. Okay, so now I'm going to come back and we're going to put the seeds on there. Going to kind of just sprinkle them around a little bit. You just want to make sure that they're spread out really well. I'm going to try not to take too long doing this, but you don't want them to, be on top of each other or anything like that. You want the whole top of the soil to be covered. Spread them out. And just kind of take your time with it so that you know that it's all spread out, but they're not overlapping, because they do like ventilation, the little seeds, okay? They're too cramped in there. You'll run a chance of it molding on you, and you don't want that. Okay. So we'll leave it at that, and I'm going to water it very well. Well, let me show y'all how it looks first before I water it, okay? You can kind of see. All right, right, it's just spread out pretty good. Okay, you see over here I can put some more there. I don't want the video to be too long. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to water it. Let me spread these out a little bit more. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm just really funny about it, but if you take your time with it, you know, you're going to get a pretty grass, you know, one that's really healthy and green and not molding or anything like that. Okay, so we'll come back and water it very well again. Okay, so now let's just real quickly, we'll talk about some growing tips, okay? Now, once you see, well, once the grass starts coming up, if for whatever reason, it might look a little bit yellow to you for some reason, you know, it could be a couple of things. Maybe you're giving it too much water, or it could be getting too hot, you know, wherever you have it at. What you can do is just get you a little bench or a chair or something and just set it on there and kind of moving away from the window a little bit, because I know here it's pretty warm, so I have to kind of watch. I had to do that with mine in my living room. I had to kind of pull it back a little bit because it was getting too hot. If you see that, and this just recently happened to me because of the heat, it actually, they looked a little droopy, but even like the blades of the grass, I felt almost kind of, I don't know, almost kind of like weird feeling, like almost sticky in a way. I don't know, it was kind of strange. And I thought, well, you know what, it's probably getting too hot. So that's when I pulled it more away from the window, and then it was fine after that. It totally perked up. But if you see that it's molding on you for some reason, it could be that you put too many seeds in the tray. I use only about 1.5 cups, because you want it to have plenty of room to breathe in there. Because I think that's probably the number one problem when it molds, is that it's not getting enough circulation, all right? So you want to make sure you're not overdoing it on the seeds. And then, I mean, depending on where you live at, I mean, here, I mean, I'm good with just keeping the temperature in my home to just normal, to whatever I'm comfortable with, and it does fine with that. But if you live in a different area, you may have to adjust the temperature of your home. It just depends, you know. I know I used to use a fan. I used to always keep a fan blowing on them. Now, you don't want it like too high blowing on them, you know, just something like on a medium, just to where that the blades are just kind of moving, just keep that circulation going. So if you're having trouble with mold, it could be that. You might just need to get a fan blowing on it. Or it could just be the room. Maybe it doesn't like the room that it's growing in. I mean, plants, you know, they pick up on vibes too. You know, I mean, they're just like us. You know, they want to be happy just like us. So, I mean, for whatever reason, they just may not like the room that they're in. So if you switch the room, it may be a totally different grass that you get. All right. I know here the barley and the wheat, they do a lot better in my living room. I don't know if maybe it's less heat by the window or whatever, but even though I had to pull them back this summer a little bit, even in the living room, but you know, it just depends. So but that just comes with experience. After you grow for a while, you'll learn what it likes and what it doesn't like. Even with all the microgreens and stuff that I grow, you know, most of them are pretty similar, but they have some that like less water than others. Some of them like more sun, but you just learn. But I think that's the amazing thing about growing them. You know, you build that kind of relationship with what you're growing, and I think it's a really beautiful thing to grow your own food. I mean, it's just, I love it, and I will probably always do it. I mean, I know I'll always do it, but but it's just a learning process, and with experience you'll get better at it, and you'll learn what it likes and what it doesn't like. But those are some of the tips. And if ever it puts out a funny smell, I know y'all like a while back, well, it's been a good while now, but one of my trays I had forgot to change out the drain tray, to empty the water out. But I wasn't using the shallow tray then. It was the tray that went all the way in, and so it was kind of sitting in there. And if you use a tray like that, then you really, really have to be cautious with the drain tray, all right? Because you don't want it sitting in water. Well, for whatever reason, I just got busy and I didn't check the drain tray, and something was kind of smelling in here, and I was like, what is that smell, And my husband and daughter were like that too. They're like, Mom, what are you doing? What are you doing in the kitchen? And da-da-da. So, but anyway, so then finally I realized it was the grass. It was actually the barley grass that had did that. So just check your drain tray to make sure that it's not sitting in water, because they like water, but you don't want them to have too much, And that plays a big part of it too. If you're watering it too much, that could be causing mold. But if you use a good amount of seeds, about a cup and a half, you don't overdo it on your seeds, you should be okay with it. That's, I think, the biggest thing. It's just the circulation of it. Okay, so we got it watered. So now we're going to take this one here. We're going to take a top tray. We're going to put it on top here. And then we're going to let it go a couple days. And I'll show y'all in a couple days the height of them, how I like it before I take the top tray off. But let me show y'all real fast here. I have a barley tray that I did. And y'all can just kind of look at it. Let's see. And it's done in the same way. Nothing different. Okay? And something else, y'all. It's like any artificial lights, anything like that. I like growing with the natural light, and I like growing in soil too. To me, there's just something about there's just an energy to it, And I don't knock the whole artificial light thing. I mean, if you're in a situation where you don't have a window to grow by, you just don't have enough natural light in your home, then you may have to use an artificial lighting system. You may have to, all right? But I've never had to. As long as you have a decent sized window, they'll get the light from it. They really will. And it doesn't have to be in your kitchen or in your living room. It can be in your bedroom. It doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't have to even be a window that has light coming through it all day long, because they will find the light. They really will. But I just think that for me, I just want that energy from the sun, to come into the plant. And even at night, with it sitting by the window at night, it's getting the night energy too from the moon. And I just think that's really important. And I think if you don't grow with the natural light, I just feel like that they're missing a certain energy to it, But that's just my opinion. But like I said, if you have to do an artificial light, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, But if at all possible, try and keep it with the natural light. Okay? Well, I think that's it. I think I covered it all. So we got it planted. We talked about just different tips, in case something goes wrong with it. I think that's it. But I will get back with y'all, like I said, when it starts to come up some. And then we'll just go from there. Okay? I'll see y'all later.